Hello beautiful people and welcome to another video. If this is your first time here, my name is Eleftheria and I'm doing the debugging challenges from FreeCodeCamp. I've already done 2 more videos with the previous challenges and now I think that I have 4 more in order to finish this section. If you're ready to see this video, then just please don't forget to like and subscribe if you like this content. And without further ado, I think we are ready to start. So let's do this. Okay, and it says, let me hit that one. Alright, it says catch arguments passed in the wrong order when calling a function. Continuing the discussion on calling function, the next bug to watch out for is when a function's arguments are supplied in the incorrect order. If the arguments are different types, such as a function expecting an array and an integer, this will likely throw a runtime error. If the arguments are the same type, all integers for example, then the logic of the code won't make sense. Make sure to supply all required arguments in the proper order to avoid this kind of issues. Okay, the functions raised to power raises a base to an exponent, and unfortunately it's not called properly. Fix the code so the value of power is the expected 8. Okay, so let me think for a while. I think that you have to go in the 7 line, and then this should be base, and the next one should be exp, which is for exponential or exponent. Anyway, let's click on run the test to see if we are correct, and we are. Okay, let's continue with one more challenge. Cuts off by 1 errors when using indexing. Off by 1 errors, sometimes called a booe, I didn't know that, crop up when you're trying to target a specific index of a string or array, to slash or access a segment, or when looping over the insides of them. JavaScript indexing starts at 0, like most other programming languages, I guess. So not 1, which means the last index is always 1 less than the length of the item. And again, for beginners programmers, I think this can be quite tricky, but once you can use to it, it will be like simple piece of cake. So if you try to access an index equal to the length, the program may throw an index out of range reference error or print undefined. When you're using string or array methods that take index ranges as arguments, it helps to read the documentation and understand if they are all inclusive. And I agree with reading the documentation. I think it's really important, and sometimes developers forget to do that, or they think that they don't have the time to read the documentation. But for me, I think that it's super important and of course super useful. So then we have an example. I can see that there are some for loops in here and then some console.log, but let's see what we have to do. And it says fix the 2 indexing errors in the following function so all the numbers 1 through 5 are printed to the console. Okay, let me read everything here, and probably the wrong part is in the 5th line that says for let I equals 1, and I think that this should be like 0 I, and it's less, maybe we don't need the equal symbol. So let's check if this is correct, and it is correct. Nice one. Okay, let's continue with the next one. Use caution when reinitializing variables inside the loop. Sometimes it's necessary to save information, increment counters, or reset variables within a loop. A potential issue is when variables either should be reinitialized and aren't, or vice versa. This is particularly dangerous if you accidentally reset the variable being used for the terminal condition. Caution and infinity loop. Okay, printing variable values with each cycle of your loop by using console.log can uncover buggy behavior related to resetting or failing to reset a variable. Alright, so what do we have to do? The following function is supposed to create a 2-dimensional array with m arrows and n columns of zeros. unfortunately it's not producing the expected output because the row variable isn't being reinitialized, set back to an empty array in the outer loop. Fix the code so it returns a current 3 to 2 array of zeros, which looks like this. So you have 0, 0, 0, 0, and 0, 0. Okay, let me quickly read the code once and then try to find the error. So function 0 array, we have mn inside the parentheses, and then a comment that says create a 2D array with m rows and n columns of 0. Then we have some variables, or maybe better, some declarations of arrays, and then in the 5th line we have let I equals 0, I less than m, and I plus plus, which adds the mth row into a new array. The 8th line says for let j and j less than n, j plus plus, pushes n zeros into the current row to create the columns. Okay, so we have the row dot push, and inside the parentheses we have 0. Then a comment pushes the current row, which now has n zeros in it, to the array, and we have the new array dot push, and inside the parentheses a row. So it returns the new array, and then we have let matrix 0 array 3 to 2. I think this is correct. Probably the error is somewhere here. Like maybe we need a new array to push the row. Okay, so first of all we have to return the new array, but I think that there must be something wrong here with the row. Maybe it needs something like this, or no? Okay, let me do it like another way, like row. We have the new array dot push, and then inside the parentheses the row, and then what we have to do is to actually have a row and set this again to be an empty array. So I think that this will do the trick, and it does. So it wasn't actually very hard. We just had to add the row that equals an empty array. Okay, so now we have the zeros and we are ready to continue. I think that this is the last challenge, so it says prevent infinite loops with valid terminal condition. The final topic, yes, is the dreaded infinity loop. Loops are great tools when you need your program to run a code block a certain number of times or until a condition is met, but they need a terminal condition that ends the looping. Infinity loops are likely to freeze or crash the browser and cause general program execution mayhem, which no one wants. I agree. So there was an example of an infinity loop in the introduction to this section. It had no terminal condition to break out of the while loop inside the loop. Do not call this function. Okay, we will note. So let's go in the last part that we have to see what we have to do. The myFang function contains an infinity loop because the terminal conditions I, it's different than 4, will never evaluate false, and to break the looping I will increment by 2 each pass, and jump right over 4 since I is odd to start. Fix the comparison operator in the terminal condition so the loop only runs from I less than or equal to 4. Okay, so probably the error is here. We have I equals 1, okay, and then I should be like smaller than 4, and I plus 2 plus equal to, I think it's correct. And yes, we are correct. Thank you very much guys for watching these videos. This was the third and last part, because as far as you can see we finished with the debugging challenges, and yes, I'm so happy about that. Anyway, I have to see you in my next videos, which will be probably about D3. If you enjoy this kind of videos, please like, share and subscribe. And if you have any question, don't forget to leave me a comment and I'll do my best to answer it. Have an amazing day and see you in the next one. Bye!